This is the just a quick tutorial on how to set up the KSA loader for the Kitten Space Agency. Pretty simple. First thing you're going to need is the KSA loader fork by Cheese3660, and you're going to need to go over to releases. Once you're here, you just download the KSA loader.zip. Once that's done, open it up and take the zip file, extract all, and what you're going to do is hit browse, go to your operating system, go to the program files, find your Kitten Space Agency, and in here just select that folder. You'll see the drive name, program files, Kitten Space Agency. You want it to be in the Kitten Space Agency folder. Extract it there. It'll open, and it did not extract. Oh, no, it did. It's down here. Click down on the KSA loader at the bottom. What you're going to do is just take all of them and just move them straight into the Kitten Space Agency folder. And you can delete this loader file right here now because it's empty. And once you have that, you could just test if it works by clicking on the KSA loader, not the KSA.exe, the KSA loader.exe. Double click on it, let it run. Should see the terminal pop up, and you'll just see the core as well as for fresh install, you'll just see the found mod core. This found mod first mod is what I'll show you how to do, how to set up getting that. And I'm just going to load in earth only. And once this is done loading, you should just have normal KSA loaded on top of any mods, which you can check both in the command line again, because it says loaded the mods, as well as if you go and hit the backslash, not the forward slash, so not the one with the question mark, and just type mods, and you should see both core, which is the core game, and first mod. And that's about it. This is the debug panel that I'm going to show you how to pop up. I do not know exactly how it does this. I have been given this code. I'm just showing you how to set it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this. And what we need to actually get the mod, the example mod to work, is we're going to need the KSA loader by R11B12. It fixes some things in the actual non-build files that Commander Cats doesn't. What you're going to do is code, you're going to clone it, make sure you're in whatever file you want to clone it into, git clone, insert it. And then once you have that, you're going to want to open VS Code or whatever your IDE is. Go to the open folder and find your folder you want. So what you'll see is you'll see this folder, it'll be like this. You have the README, which has partial instructions. They're not all in there just yet. License, the SLN, git ignore. So what you're going to want to do is check your projects in the Solution Explorer. Your Solution Explorer will probably be at the bottom at first, so I just drag it up top. And what you're going to want to do is right click on this, add existing project, and click on the example windowed mod. Select that project and select this C project source file, the C#. Once you have that, you can now see that in here in the KSA loader core, there's going to be dependencies with a error icon, and same with assemblies, error icons. So we're going to have to fix all of these errors. And where do we fix that? We fix that in the where is it? The KSA loader core and the KSA loader core.cs project. And in here, the reason we have so many errors and when it's trying to find these libraries is because here we have the original GitHub project's owner's paths. We do not have your path, so what you got to do is go in here for everything except the Harmony. The Harmony will work. and just create your path on your computer. So program, files, and then Kitten Space Agency. And if we go up to the brutal core collections right here, if I save this, the error message goes away. So then you just got to take this, copy it, hit Control H, or actually let's get rid of that real quick. Highlight the next one, hit Control H. So this is find and replace. Paste what you want to replace and go through and replace them all. And this one is a single letter difference, so we're going to find and replace that as well. Save it, and you should see most of these go away. There is one, the brutal native file dialog, that the game does not actually come installed with, because if you go into Kitten Space Agency and you search brutal.native, there is no file dialog. It's just the native DLL, because that's what these are searching for. So what I did was I just deleted this. Penalty goes away, and so far I haven't found any errors with that. Someone may let me know. The analyzers, these are just warnings. They're not actual errors, so don't worry. If you don't have them, it's probably because you only have one version of C# installed. I have two versions, so it's got to figure out those. KSA should not have any errors, and then the example Windows mod will have errors in assemblies again. So what you go to is in the directory, go to the example Windows mod, go to the CS project, and once again, just replace these. And then once you're done with that, we are actually going to change the entry point.cs, because I have code from a different project that already works. So I'm going to use that if I can find it. Sorry. Probably just blinded half of you. So we're just going to copy all this. This is what I showed you. And we're going to go in here and paste it. So we're going to get a lot of errors because we don't have the Brutal Core, Brutal Framework, or KSA working apparently. Because I did not save this right. There we go. Everything but Brutal Numerics now works. And we just have to set this to example window mod. Yes, entry point, yes. Yes, okay. So in here, what we're going to need to throw in is a new reference to include brutal, and then in here it's brutal numerics. So I believe it is brutal numerics. We can check in the KsaLoader core. So brutal core numerics. Yeah. Brutal core numerics. And then this is numerics DLL. And then in here, just make sure it's brutal core.numerics. Or I am wrong. Am I wrong? Yes, there you go. Just brutal numerics. And the only thing broken is the IMGUI, which does not exist. That is interesting. Why does brutal core not exist? Time to search it. So how do you do it? Just go in here, because we're in the C program files, Kitten Space Agency. So we're just going to search for brutal.core. And we check if there is a DLL, and there is not. So brutal core does not exist. So get rid of that. Assemblies update, and I didn't mean to close that. Entry point exists, but now we need to add the IMGUI, and it is right here. So if we go back here, We can set the brutal imgui. It's going to be include brutal.imgui. The path is going to be same as before. Brutal imgui DUI. And then if we go into entry point, you can see that the text went away because it can now find the actual library that is the imgui. So since we have assemblies all working, we're good in here. And we should now be able to build. So I'm going to open a new terminal. I'm going to drag it out here. And what I'm going to do is, since I am in the KSALoader project, I'm going to do .net and then build. What that will do, you'll see it compile. And I failed with 1 error and 4 warnings. So I do have an error. Time to find the error. And where's the error? Type namespace float2 cannot be found. Okay. Oh, it's because of this. I don't want this file anymore. Yes, delete that file. And then we can go back and build. There you go. Build succeeded with 4 warnings. You should see that. Or at least just build succeeded. And what you're going to notice is that in the example thrust mod, in the object, ignore the bin, you can see all these caches, all that, as well as in debug. You can see a bunch of files, including, most importantly, this windowed mod DLL file. So this is what you're going to need to put into your KSA files. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So now we go to first mod, or we go into our program. Kitten Space Agency should be here. We're going to go up to content, go into it, and then we're going to create a new folder. We're going to name it example windowed mod. Go in here, create a new folder again, call it assemblies, as well as I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, a mod toml file. So we're gonna need a new file. So new file. No, okay. New file. File, new file. Not there actually. So I'm just gonna create it in here for real quick, or I'm actually gonna open the file, new window, open folder. Where is it? OS, program files, Space Agency, content, example windowed mod. I'm going to open this. So in here, I'm going to create a new file called mod.toml. And all you need in there is just name equals and then the name of your mod. So I'm going to do example windowed mod. Save that. You should be good. And then in the example Windows mod and assemblies, you're now going to want to go and drag all the DLL files or production files. So if we go into my KSA mods, where is it? In here. So in the example windowed mod in here, in the KsaLoader uncompiled object debug.net, and then just drag all these files and copy them over into this assemblies. There you go. Now you have your built version in the example Windows mod. And then you have to do one more thing, which is go to this manifest.toml source file, open it, and add in the mod's ID equals and the name of your mod. So example windowed mod, and set enabled to be true. And then when we go to the Kitten Space Agency and launch the KsaLoader, you will see found mod core, as well as found mod example windowed mod. It will then say loading assemblies, which is why we have that assemblies folder. This first mod running is because of this entry point right here, console right line first mod is running. And then once that's done, it'll say loaded example windowed mod. And in here, when you load it in, you should now have a debug panel. I have two because I have two copies of the same mod, but we can close those, hit the backslash, and then type mods. And now you can see we also have the example windowed mod. So that's about it for the video. I do not actually know how to interact with KSA fully yet. All of this code was provided to me, so good luck with that, but this will at least show you how to get a mod detected and running by KSA.